Hello and welcome to EV Motoring. Today we're out here at the Chicago Drives Electric Week. Actually, it's a weekend event here thrown by the Chicago Auto Trade Association. Today we're here on Media Day, so we get a little more exclusive access to the vehicles. So let's go take a quick lap around and for the first time see what there is here to do. So first, behind me is the Chicago Trade Association. Inside there is the new Alfa Romeo Tonale. That's their first all-electric model, and it's also their first new model in 5 years. So nice to see them joining the party. Stellantis has been a little bit behind on electrifying vehicles. They have their plug-in hybrids over here, which we'll show in a minute, but this is their first full battery electric. So now let's go take a quick lap around and see what there is to see. So up here we have some Volvo plug-in hybrids. They have an Xc40 and Xc90 Recharge. Really good plug-in hybrids. I'm more a fan of the full battery electric, so here's the full battery electric Volvos over here. We have two Xc40 Recharges. I drove these out in California about a year ago. Outstanding vehicle, has the same underpinnings of the Polestar 2, so 4.5 seconds 0 to 60, about 220 miles of range. But so there's a Xc40 Recharge here, another one in front of it, over here in front of the C40, but here's the highlight. The C40 Recharge, this is the coupe-ified kind of fastback styling, gets a little bit more range due to the efficient styling, and I just am in love with this color and the whole blue interior that Volvo has kind of done with the whole package. You still get all the utility of the Xc40, but with a lot better style, a little bit more futuristic kind of look. And also, it's actually pretty cool to still have a frunk in most battery conversions. So when you take an ICE vehicle and shove a battery into that platform, usually it's hard to manufacture a frunk into it, but this car still maintains having one. Over here we have the Chrysler plug-in hybrids. So we have two Pacifica plug-ins. Those get about 30 miles of all-electric range, and then about 30 miles per gallon after that. Then we have the two Jeep Grand Cherokees. Not completely familiar on the specs of these, but pretty comparable to the Chrysler Pacifica. So another great way to, if your daily commute is 20 miles round trip, these vehicles will certainly suit that. And then missing, I think they're charging right now, is there's two Wrangler 4xe, which is actually, according to a stat I've seen, the #1 selling plug-in hybrid. So surprising to see that many people have $60,000 lying around to buy a Jeep plug-in, but that's that. Here is the Ioniq 5 in shooting star gray. I think this is one of the best colors, but of course, looks are always subjective. This is the limited trim. So this is a dual motor, so I think it's about 256 miles of range. The rear wheel drive would be 300 miles of range. Love that they spec the white interior with it too, or it's kind of like a cream white interior. Looking forward to hopefully driving this today. Not sure how the event's gonna go, but hopefully we can take a quick spin. Then we'll move on to the other Hyundai plugins. So we have a Kona electric up here, and then next to that there's the Santa Fe and Tucson plugins. So nice to see the full suite of Hyundai's electrified segment. The Kona is obviously their budget-friendly electric car. Still a great vehicle. Charging's a little bit slow, but it's actually one of the most efficient vehicles. It's one of the few vehicles that I believe is more efficient than a Tesla Model 3. Here's actually behind us a Jeep 4xe Rubicon backing into its spot. Looks great in the blue too. Then over here we have the local electric union. Brought a whole suite of like a trailer full of experiences to go through and see. They're here because this whole event also is centered on not just buying the electric vehicle, but what you do after you buy the electric vehicle to prepare for it. So getting your charging installed at home, etc. Now we'll move on to Ford. Ford brought 5 electric cars. They brought, or there should be another Lightning around here somewhere, I thought, but we have the E-Transit, which is about 125 miles of range. Looking forward to when they do a bigger battery on this and we can turn it into Winnebago motorhomes and it'll be van life all over again. But for now, it's a great delivery vehicle or contractor vehicle. Next to it, we have the Lightning Lariat. This is the extended range. So this is definitely pushing about $80,000, 300 miles of range, but it is fully equipped, leather, heated, ventilated seats, the whole lot. And then the other Lightning over here is the XLT standard range. I just got to drive that one, so it was nice to drive the base trim. Whenever we get to drive things, it's usually the fully loaded, everything that not many people can afford. This at $55,000 is definitely very competitive with the normal XLT you would go to the lot and spec, especially when you check the boxes of all-wheel drive, crew cab. This is a really good competitor. And then the Mach-E, which has been really what got Ford's electric game started about a year and a half ago. They started delivering Mach-E's, and they've been a huge success ever since. The Mach-E comes, and this is the standard, or no, this is extended range all-wheel drive. So this is 275 miles. I think it was a recent software update. 275 miles of range. If you just got the rear motor, it'd be about 310 miles of range. As far as the Lightning, standard range is 230. Extended range is 320, unless you get the Platinum. Then that brings it down to 300 miles due to the 20-inch rims take a little miles away. Here's the Bolt EUV. I have not gotten to driven one of these yet. Hopefully I'll be able to take a quick spin in it today as well. This is the best budget-friendly EV right now. Arguably the Nissan Leaf, but with the CHAdeMO charging, the Nissan Leaf is really compromised, whereas the Chevy Bolt here, even though it's a slow charging system, it still gets 250 miles of range for under $30,000. Hard to beat those specs. And this has just been a full redesign. So this is I think this is the EUV. Yep, Bolt EUV. So this is the one I would spec. It's about $1,000 more, but good to see a little bit more space. I like the styling too. It kind of looks like a baby Trailblazer, especially with the, if you get the right colors, it kind of has the right blacked out bits and everything looks pretty good. Then next to that car, if you're familiar with our channel, you're very familiar with the Volkswagen ID.4. So I had a first edition ID.4 for about 30,000 miles. It was an excellent vehicle. So here they have a couple different specs. There is a first edition at the end of the row here. There's an all-wheel drive Pro S, and what's the third one? Another all-wheel drive Pro S with the gradient package. So that is the 20-inch rims. It's a car that, in my opinion, doesn't do anything amazing, but does everything very, very well. It's always puts a smile on your face every time you drive an ID.4. And it's also, now that it's made in Chattanooga, one of the most affordable electric vehicles out, especially considering the charging profile. Base price of $37,500, gets the tax credit, so now you're down to $30,000. 3 years of unlimited 30-minute fast charges. So talk about low cost of ownership. You have your fuel free for 3 years. You have a pretty good charging profile, a really efficient car at a really good price. Then over here, last but not least, we have the sister car to the Ioniq 5 and Genesis GV60. You have the suite of Kia EV6s. There's 4 here. A nice array of paint colors that they brought in. The black has a lot of metallic in it. The red is, I think, my favorite color in the Kias with the sporty look that it portrays. Then you have the flat paint here, which is kind of similar to the shooting star gray of the Ioniq 5, and then blue. But that's a quick look around everything here. Unfortunately, this is the only way you're going to see this event because there was 2,000 reservations and they sold out overnight. So I guess my advice would be watch the rest of the videos, get to see the cars I got to drive around. And if you think you want to drive one, go to your local dealer and go get electrified. But until next time, take care.